Food insecure households is the term. Using poor people they interviewed as a platform, CNN offered two reasons why kids go hungry in America. The first is the government. The second is greed. The government's to blame because cumbersome regulations force restaurants and other establishments to throw away food that could be donated to the hungry. The second is greed. We don't help our neighbors to starve. CNN says America exports more food than any other nation. In other words, we're not taking care of our own children. A word to CNN. Some of us have been talking about the terrible consequences of government regulations for decades. So the thousands of churches and private charities run food banks and local outreach programs for anyone needing any kind of assistance. Taxpayers support 49 million people on food stamps, school breakfast and lunch. We are the most giving nation on earth in human history, bar none. That is not greed. And what kind of blind do you have to be to see it? Just credit card fraud. But that's only one form of identity theft. And if you're just monitoring your credit and checking your bank statements, you could miss other forms of identity theft or even somebody draining your 401k. It's a good thing there's LifeLock. They use proprietary technology to detect and alert you to a wide range of identity threats. And if you have a problem, one of their U.S.-based restoration specialists will work to fix it. Now, of course, no one can prevent all identity theft or monitor all transactions at all. Do visit lifelock.com/rush or call them at 800-440-4833. Make sure you use
Good job. It is totally horrifying.
It really is. Unsettling.
I mean, it's...
The chins, right? You're talking about the chins?
It's all... It looks so bad.
Yeah, thank God for the chins, though. It's distractions. What's really going on?
I'm sorry, I interrupted you.
And now your Sports Center update. The Cleveland Cavaliers have parted ways with General Manager David Griffin. In Gilbert, no agreement on an extension was reached. Chauncey Billups and the Cavaliers have mutual interest in a front office role for the retired NBA player, sources told ESPN's Brian Windhorst. And finally, Octopi have blue blood rather than red blood. Rock this way with Jersey Mike's and Pepsi, and you could win the music trip of a lifetime. Stop into a Jersey Mike's to enter. Jersey Mike's. Be a sub above. No purchase necessary. Sweepstake ends August 14th. See official rules at PepsiRockThisWay.com. For all of the latest headlines and information, tune into SportsCenter on ESPN Radio all throughout the day.
That octopi blood was blue, yes or no? Nobody in the world would choose the look that Stugotz is presently rocking. You have to be losing your hair and holding on to some semblance of hair in order to have that look. But nobody goes for the look that Stugotz is using right now. Feinbaum has had it forced upon him by losing hair.
His wife, Abby, is looking at the future right now. She is seeing their marriage in 30 years.
It's unbelievable how much this has aged Stugotz.
Crazy.
Mike, I'm not even kidding you. You are looking at this person for the first time. Stugotz is now having a razor applied to the top of his head on ESPNU. Mike, how old? I don't give you any more information. I just put that picture on the screen of Stugotz. How old is that person?
64 years old.
Stugotz, because we haven't brought any mirrors through there. Are you aware of how bad it looks? Are you seeing yourself on camera?
I've been able to see myself the entire time, and all I'm focused on are my chins. That's it. I wasn't expecting the razor. I got to be honest with you. Like, I wasn't expecting, because now I'm going full ball. Like, this is a place I've never been to before. I wasn't expecting that, and I'm wondering, are these real glasses? Because they're starting to hurt my eyes, man. Like, are these glasses for real? Because my eyes are killing me, man. And my stomach is just protruding in a way that it did not protrude back in January when I last wore this suit. This whole thing is a disaster, man. I was not expecting the razor. Because that means when he shaves the rest of the head, he's going to have to use the razor on the rest of the head. I'm going home a complete skinhead today, and that's not something that my wife was expecting. She's not prepared for this. And this is bad. But I mean, listen.
In the room here. Chris, what's the worst thing about what you're presently witnessing? You can only pick one thing. What?
This smile. He looked like a creepy old man.
Yes, Stugatz has been made to look like a pervert. That is accurate. Guillermo, what is your nominee for what is the single worst thing that has happened to Stugatz here?
I actually think it's a good look. Like, I'd keep it a day or two. Like, it's not bad.
From a lie detector.
Yeah.
Roy, wait a minute. What do we need to do to make this Stugatz to have him take this home and keep it for 24 hours or undo the lie detector with this? What do we have to offer you, Stugatz?
Money. And a lot of it, like lots and lots and lots and lots of money, which eventually 50% of that will go to my wife, because I have no doubt that she is leaving me. There is no question. And a lot of people are focused on my nose as well. People back off on the nose, okay?
Yeah.
Like, I broke my nose, I have a deviated septum, I ran into a goalpost, a soccer goalpost.
I've never
when I was
noticed
a
that
kid.
before.
Yeah.
I've never noticed it until now. This really accents your deviated nose.
Yeah, it really does.
Roy, what is the worst thing about the Stugatz look? I'm going with how fat it makes his face.
Yeah. That's the tie in the shirt, guys. Like, I have the top button buttoned, and it's really, like, I need to, Mike, can I unbutton the top button, or are you enjoying the chin?
No, enjoying the score too much.
More chin.
This is bad.
I keep the general manager.
Yes.
Is that a power you would give him?
Yes, I would.
Or if they didn't give it to him?
Not given the relationship with Dan Gilbert, no.
Gilbert would be on his best behavior on that one? No.
You would?
All right. It looks like it is complete. Bomb appears to be done. Tell you how bad he looks.
Got the tie on. Stugatz West, please.
Go ahead. Give us some takes as Paul Feinbaum, Stugatz.
Everyone has been chasing Alabama for years, and news for everyone in the SEC. It doesn't matter. You're going to be chasing Alabama for decades to come, because Nick Saban is not going anywhere. Saban go anywhere. They are paying him like $10 million a year. He's on his house. Every time a coach gets a raise, and he gets a raise because that coach has got. So, listen, here's the deal. I'm sorry for Auburn and all the other teams in the SEC. They even leave that school. You had zero shot at what school, because all they do is keep paying for his stuff, giving him more money. So why would he leave? And he jumped Tebow and Marty Smith. I mean, he just got life ever, man. So, SEC, there's not much you can do. Take Nick Saban and Alabama. It's like, just wait it out a decade. Like, you have to wait for Golden State to be on the back end of their prime. Just wait for Nick Saban to retire, and then maybe you have a shot to the SEC.
Because everyone's buying you as Feinbaum.
Oh, yeah.
Delivering those opinions that way. This is amazing. This is the best day of my life.
Let's go. My private jet isn't going to fuel itself.
You look so bad. Are you in a pinch because you need a suit immediately?
Stop them from worshiping the way they wanted to coming out of a mosque like that. And here's the thing. Again, we're using a little bit of speculation, but at this point, based on what we know, I don't think that I do not believe that it would be unreasonable to make this assumption. It appears as though this guy doesn't like what's going on with terrorism in his own country, because these attacks have been ratcheting up slightly. Since Manchester, we've seen an increased hostility towards Muslims, which I'm not saying that it's okay, but that's kind of to be expected, that unreasonable people will extend the attacks that radical Muslims do to all Muslims, which is not right either. But this guy apparently was doing this. And here's the thing. If he's worried about jihad and worried about terrorists, this is the absolute best thing that could have happened for a jihadist recruiter. Because they have a case of a...
Doug Amos and Charlie Drummond, from the Budweiser broadcast booth.
Every single thing that happens to Muslims that's negative, even if they do use it as recruiting, should be automatically, that's something that the left does. They say just because people do Guantanamo Bay, for example, to recruit, that we ought to shut down Guantanamo Bay. Well, we can't just base everything that we do on the opinions of the guys that we're fighting. This is a innocent, not a law enforcement official, not Muslims that are engaging in suspicious activity or doing anything wrong. These are Muslims just wanting to worship as Muslims and follow their own beliefs the way that they want to. Innocent bystanders. And this random guy, because he doesn't like Muslims and he's a European, just